If this story shocks you as much as it shocked us, hit like, drop a comment, share this with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe, because we cover cases like this every single week. 30 years. That is how long Glenn Ford sat inside a 6 by 9-foot cell at Angola State Penitentiary in Louisiana, waiting to be executed for a murder the state of Louisiana now admits he did not commit. In 1984, Glenn Ford was convicted of killing a Shreveport jeweler named Isidore Roseman. The prosecution's case rested on unreliable witness testimony, a deeply flawed investigation, and a defense team that included a lawyer who had never handled a criminal case before. Ford, a black man in rural Louisiana, had no money, no connections, and no one in his corner who knew how to fight back. The jury deliberated for just 3 hours. They sentenced him to death. For 3 decades, Ford sat on death row. His appeals were denied one after another. The legal system that was supposed to protect him moved against him at every turn. And while he sat in that cell aging, sick, forgotten, the real story was quietly falling apart outside those walls. In 2013, a new informant came forward with information that investigators had never properly followed. It pointed away from Ford entirely. Prosecutors reviewed the case and reached a conclusion that should have come 30 years earlier. Glenn Ford was not the killer. He was exonerated in March of 2014 and walked out of Angola at 64 years old, his hands shaking from arthritis that had gone untreated for years. But here is where the story turns into something even harder to sit with. Doctors discovered he had stage 4 lung cancer, a disease that had been growing inside him while he was locked in a cell that the state never had the right to put him in. Louisiana's wrongful conviction compensation law had a technicality, and because of it, Glenn Ford received not $1 of compensation for 30 years of his life. He died 14 months after walking free. The prosecutor who helped convict him later wrote a public letter calling himself a failure as a prosecutor and as a human being. That letter exists. The apology exists. Glenn Ford's grave exists. The check never did. This is one case, one name, but there are 193 others just like him who made it out of death row alive, and researchers believe hundreds more may not have been so lucky. The full story of what is really happening inside the American death row system is on this channel, and once you start watching, you will not be able to look away.